First, Donald Trump spoke for an hour and a half with Vladimir Putin. Then the American president spoke for an hour with Volodymyr Zelenskyy. Now, to discuss the latest developments on Ukraine and what they mean for achieving peace and security, I'm now joined by Bohdan Nahaylo, editor-in-chief of the Kyiv Post. Bohdan, so good to have you with us here in this breaking news this evening. Now, first, Bohdan, tell me, what is your take on this? Does this look like a potential breakthrough in mediation efforts by the Americans? How is this going to proceed?
No, it's not a breakthrough. It's an initial important step by the White House. But let's be frank, this is, from a Ukrainian point of view, given that the president of Ukraine has to pretend that he's happy that this is going on, etc. But look, he was not necessarily forewarned or involved in the preliminary discussion, long discussion that Trump had, and it seems like a sellout. Let's be frank. Today we had other signals in Munich. Hesgarth, the Pentagon secretary, head of the Pentagon, he said that Europe is no longer a priority for the US. It's the Pacific Asian region, read China, and that Europe will have to deal with this, and that Ukraine has to get used to the fact that it's going to have to give up territories. There's not going to be any return to 2014. That's important to remember as to what came before this discussion or telephone call. And look at the tone of what Trump said, and the Russians are saying both presidents invited each other to visit one. It's as if, Trump is not recognizing that Putin is a war criminal. There's a warrant on his arrest. We're pretending that life goes on, that Volodya and Donald are friends. And this is the image that Trump wanted to convey at the outset. He had problems, but today he got his breakthrough, but at the expense of Ukraine and Europe. So it's a dismal moment, and whatever gloss Zelenskyy is forced to put upon it, because he still needs American support, it's, I would say, almost a game changer in Europe.
So, Bohdan, you just said something. So what do you think is Trump's breakthrough then exactly? Is this part of his just broader geopolitical strategy? What is Trump to get out of Russia then?
Trump is an egocentric. He's like a Tarzan. He likes to beat his chest. This is something he can show to his public, to his supporters. You see, I didn't do it in 24 hours, but we are on good terms with, today it's Putin. He's already said he's still going to be on good terms with the North Korean leader. This is a typical Trump sort of statement. The reality is that somebody pays the price for this. And at the moment, it's Ukraine very much, but Europe. Because again, as I emphasize, it's not just what Trump said about his call to Volodya, to Volodymyr Putin, but it's what preceded it. The emphasis today that Europe, you deal with this. This is your problem. America, we've got other things to deal with. We've got China and others. It's a really bad signal, and it leaves Ukraine very much in deep trouble. But it also is a very bad signal for Europe as well.
But if this does go through, what does Ukraine get? Where does Ukraine stand at this point with this deal? With the deal that Trump is trying to clearly negotiate.
There's no deal. Let's not jump ahead. There's no deal. This is Trump trying to make it seem that he can be a wizard and get Russia to agree. Russia's not made any signs of making any concessions. Even today, in the Russian statements following the talks by telephone between Trump and Putin, it's clear that Putin is saying, we are not going to concede. The territory we've seized is already part of Russia. It's part of our constitution now. We're not going to give anything up. And let's not forget another factor. Russia is pressing very much for Zelenskyy to be removed. And the Americans have also bought into this. They're calling for early elections. There's a war on. There's martial law. There's millions of Ukrainians outside of Ukraine. How do you secure security within a country where 20% of it is seized by an occupant, right? Where you have tens of thousands of soldiers at the front. How do you have elections? But already the Americans are also playing into the Russian agenda. We need to change the regime. We need to at least go through the motions of an election. This is all bad. I mean, I can't put a gloss on this. As I say, I distance myself from the president. He has to be seen to be somehow finding the right tone in which to keep talking to Washington under its new administration. But for the rest of the population, I'm talking to the people here on the streets and in my office, and everybody's saying, my God, is this the America that we knew? Is this the America of Reagan, who was friends with John Paul II and Brzezinski and others? What has America come to right now?
A very delicate situation indeed. Thank you so much, Bohdan Nahaylo, editor-in-chief of Kyiv Post, for breaking it down for us.
Thank you.